as special counsel. This appointment underscores for the public the department's commitment to both independence and accountability.
Well, that was Attorney General Merrick Garland earlier today, officially announcing a special counsel to investigate Biden's handling of classified documents. So what does this mean for Biden and for the separate investigation currently going on into former President Donald Trump? Joining us to give his legal analysis is Harvard Law School Professor Emeritus and Newsmax analyst Alan Dershowitz. He's also the author of The Price of Principle, a great read. Professor, welcome to the show. All right, here. So initial reaction to the appointment of Robert Hur as special counsel, and then also what are the legal implications of this for Biden because he's a sitting president?
Well, first of all, I think Garland had no choice. He had to treat both the charges against Trump and the charges against Biden exactly the same. I think in the end, these allegations cancel each other out. I don't think anybody's going to be prosecuted, and I don't think anybody should be prosecuted. Nobody took things home in order to sell them to the Chinese. Probably it was mostly inadvertent, laziness, carelessness, maybe in some instances, desire to have material that they could look to help them write their memoirs. We need to change the law and reduce the amount of classification and make it clearer what presidents can and can't do. But one thing I guarantee you, I very rarely guarantee predictions, but this one is a 100% certain prediction. Unless new evidence emerges, neither of these people will be criminally prosecuted. You'll get reports from the special prosecutors. They'll criticize them perhaps, but there won't be prosecutions.
Well, I would just say for the record, until we know what's in the highly classified stuff, the TSSCI, I'd be very careful about dismissing the carelessness of it on any level. But I do want to get to the question that I think is interesting, because I keep watching these media reporters and pundits say these cases are very different and Republicans shouldn't be trying to make them look the same. Why? How do you answer that question? Because I think that Biden's actually worse. There's 3 locations and, et cetera. So where do you come down this? I mean, the media says they're totally different. Trump's was worse. I actually think Biden's is worse.
Well, I think they are different. And I think in some ways Trump's is worse. In some ways Biden is worse. Biden's is better because his lawyers apparently cooperated with the Justice Department with the archives right away, whereas Trump's didn't. Trump, on the other hand, was the president of the United States. He could declassify, whereas Biden was the vice president. You're right about 3 different locations and maybe less security. I thought what Biden said today was absurd. Oh, of course it was my garage, but it's locked because I have my Corvette in it. That's not the kind of security we need for classified material. The point is, whether it's different or not, half of America thinks it's different because Biden's is worse. Half of America thinks it's different because Trump's is worse. And in the end, they cancel each other out. Let me say one other thing. If the Justice Department hadn't gone after Trump in such an overreactive way, going after, the search warrant and all that, we probably never would have even heard of the Biden matter. It's tit for tat. It's that when the Democrats do something against the Republicans, they don't realize that it's going to be done against them at some point, too. And in the end, I think these two cancel each other out. And we will have paid a lot of money for special prosecutors, but nothing essentially will come of either of them.
I do want to hit on something you said, why these are different, because many people are saying that as well. Method of discovery, ultimately the difference of Trump and Biden here. But we still don't know when Biden was briefed on these things. As far as we know that I can tell, the lawyers found this in the Penn Biden Center, and they were the ones that turned it over. They talked to the White House counsel's office. The White House counsel's office is the one who talked to the DOJ. We don't know when Biden got involved. So does that change this in any way?
I think it does. And, there is every reason to believe that the decisions about timing had to do with politics. They didn't release anything before the midterm elections. And there are some reports that say that they didn't release even now until they knew the media was onto it. If the media weren't onto it, who knows whether it would be released at all. And I think there has to be some accounting for the timing here. As we know, timing is everything. Look at the Hillary Clinton issue. Look at what happened to her. they obviously released information against her just on the eve of the election. So timing is everything. The Justice Department is supposed to be sensitive to not impacting elections by their timing, but they can't do that in a selective way. They can't do it to help one side and not help the other. So I think we have some answers that we have to get about when did Biden know about it? When did his lawyers know about it? Why was it withheld from the public? All of that's important. Look, you and I can disagree about which was worse, but the ultimate judge of that is going to be the public. And the public should have gotten the information as soon as possible so that they could decide whether it should impact an election or not, or they could decide whether it impacts their views on which is worse.
In 30 seconds, let me ask you this. I just asked this to the media panel. From a legal standpoint, is the media asking the right questions to the White House?
No, I think that they have to ask deeper questions about what this reflects. Are these the only two presidents who have done this? What about other presidents? Did they have materials that still haven't been found because nobody's looking for them? I think more questions about timing and more questions about the content of the material. Now, we'll probably never learn about the content of the material because it's classified, but maybe it should be declassified at this point. After all, Biden is now the president. He can now declassify. Yep. It doesn't apply retroactively, but at least it gives us the ability to make judgments about that. This is the beginning of a long story that will not end in prosecution, but may very well end in new laws.
All right, well, good. We need more content every day to talk about. Professor Dershowitz, I appreciate you joining us and sharing your amazing insight with us as always.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.